All right, Kellyanne, great to see you. Can you believe 100 days? I'm sure it was just, you got a lot of sleep in the last 100 days. You're relaxed, piece of cake. You're kicking up your feet for, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Every moment has been worth it, Sean. This is high energy, high impact President Trump, and he's had a great record of accomplishments in the first 100 days, and so much of it's a down payment of progress for the next 101,000 days or so. But it's just remarkable to see things that don't get a lot of coverage. The 30 executive orders, the 28 or so pieces of legislation, the 13 congressional review acts. I mean, that is a great example of him just getting the government out of our lives. It's so intrusive, invasive, expensive, and expansive. And him, upending these congressional review acts where I think President George W. Bush had done 1 and President Obama 0. He's done 13.
Let me put up on the side of the screen, and, first of all, Neil Gorsuch was a huge promise. He was on the list, original list of the Supreme Court. I think you can't doubt that's a huge promise kept. The fact that the president worked the phones at all of these corporations, Chrysler, Fiat, Ford, GM, Carrier, and so many others, in promising to invest so much in the country, getting rid of these regulations, especially as it relates to coal and ending the war on coal, a 60% reduction in illegal immigration because we're now enforcing the laws, fighting against sanctuary cities, moving forward with the border wall. We saw what he did in Syria, the mother of all bombs, the lobbying ban, sanctioning Iran, sanctioning Syria, and then setting the table for all these things. The media, if you listen to them, it's like he hasn't done anything in 100 days.
That's why so many people aren't listening to that. They're really judging him based on what they see, and they see constant action, they see a constant moves towards progress and keeping those campaign promises and doing the right thing. He's also been incredibly responsive as Commander-in-Chief to events and circumstances that he did not start, but his response has been swift and resolute and decisive in that of a leader. Now, the other thing I would point out is that when you look at his first 100 days, if you think about it in 3 big categories, prosperity, he has done so many things, Sean, you just reviewed some of them, and he's about to do some more with tax reform and the like, that helps the job creators, the job seekers, and also the job holders. The vast majority of American households are job holders, and they're saying, when did the job no longer be enough for me to support my family? And they realize it's the regulations, it's the taxation, it's all the hidden fees, it's the government thinking that it knows best. Secondly, after prosperity, safety and security. Everything from the illegal boarding crossings down to a 17-year low. As you said, the enhancements, the tools and the resources to our brave men and women at the border, in our law enforcement, in our communities, what he's done to the veterans. Just last week, signing into law the Veterans Choice Act, where veterans who can't get care through the VA at a particular time can go to the private sector and access care. They'll have better portals, safety and security, not just at the border, but also in our communities. And then thirdly, of course, accountability. I mean, we came to a town that is a big swamp, and it's a swamp that's worked for itself. These lobbying bans, this transparency and accountability that he has put forth and made good on is really remarkable for Americans.